guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. Today I've got a review of, surprisingly tall, the 2016 Yamaha R6. This happens to be in the 60th anniversary paint scheme, which gives you the nice yellow and black graphics. Oh man, first impressions. I'm fat and old. Give you an idea, I am currently 240 pounds, 6'2", 32-inch inseam. This is a not only compact bike, tons of power and a very short wheelbase, but it is a tall bike. This has about the tallest seat of any Yamaha I've ever ridden. It's taller than the FJR, it's taller than the Super Tenere. I can flat foot it, but that seat is right on me, and when you sit down, it really doesn't compress that much because it has a nice sporty suspension. The suspension is fully adjustable front and rear via manual clickers, and you have one on the same and the monoshock on the back. This is a very basic bike as far as features. Now they did warn me that this clutch has a strange engagement zone from all their other bikes, and that most people stall this out first taken off. So I think he told me to go ahead of her. So I'm taking it easy here, and whoop, yep, I almost stalled it. So I do have to give it some throttle. There we go. All right, so I know where it is. Oh man, I feel like a freaking monkey with these rear controls. It pulls my legs as tight as they could possibly be. Wow. Yeah, if you're a super tall guy, this is going to be a change for you. I'm sure it's going to be different once I get out on the road. Looking down, I can barely see the gauges. I'm leaned so far forward just from my height that the windscreen just about covers the gauges. It is hard for me to get my boots up on the peg, no joke. Just because I can't scrunch my leg up that far. But it's up there, and luckily it is comfortable being on it. And what this does is forces my whole body forward because I'm like pushing forward with my feet on the peg. Now also luckily, this is designed to do that. So this tank is designed to be rested on. And it is quite comfortable, I have to say. It'd be better with a tank pad. But I'm not leaning with my arms. Okay, it's a little stretch to bend my foot up to hit the brake and to downshift to get it above the shifter peg. I'm not kidding. Oh, it's comfortable to put your legs down, but let me try to show you how far I have to go up here. All right, this isn't going to show it. I wish I could give you a side view, but I can't lift my leg any more up. Wow. Oh, that is crampy, to say the least. Just for me. Smaller guys, you're going to have no problem. There's a reason this is really popular with the teenagers and kids in their 20s. Woo. But I'm just a big guy, so it's probably not the best fit for me. Engine is super smooth. Obviously, I haven't had it revved up yet, but you would not know it's on. No vibration. I can hear it. I can hear the exhaust. That's really about it. I feel a little bit in my thighs here. Controls are pretty comfortable. I would probably rotate these levers down a little bit. My wrists are bent back just a tad bit for my taste, and the clutch is actually rotated more than the brake. This is more comfortable than this. Nice and light. It's a cable clutch, but the springs are very light. It's not as light as the Super Tenere. I've never ridden one with a lighter clutch than that. But this wouldn't be that big of a deal in stop and go traffic, at least clutch feel wise. I don't know about putting your legs up and down all the time. Now on the dash, it's minimal RPM gauge. Your tachometer is front and center, obviously. That's what you're looking at. Speed is what it is. You got a small digital counter over to the left, the clock above that, tiny little lights. These are like half the size of the normal indicator lights that you see on other bikes. You have an engine temp gauge in the upper right. I can't look at it right now because I'm going around this corner. I feel like I am in front of the bike. My helmet feels like it's above the front tire. Really nice smooth power. I want to try to get it up in the rev range. It sounds like it's going 1,000,000 miles an hour, but this engine is a very, very high rever. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm only at 7,000 RPMs. It sounds like I'm at 20, just because it's screaming. I don't want to kick down into first because I'm not exactly sure what its gear range is. Oh, it can't be that low. This red line's at 16.5. After the next stretch here, I'm going to keep it in first. Just kind of play with it. I'm not going to do any stupid riding, but I just want to see how it feels up in the upper rev range. Get a little bit better feel for its torque curve. Finding neutral here. It's a little notchy. Goes in easy enough, no problems with it. Alright, we'll stay in first here. It does feel like it wants to wheelie pretty darn easily. It's got some vibration in the upper RPM ranges, that's for sure. Not buzzy though, it's not coming through my wrists. I feel it really through my butt more than anything. It is a hard seat. However, a lot of my weight is actually on the pegs. Just from the riding position, I'm not supporting a lot of my weight with my butt. Not like other bikes where you can just, let your legs kick free. I could easily just put a little bit of weight here and yep, I'm lifting my bike right off the seat. Very interesting. Engine braking is nice and smooth. It's a lot less buzzy than I thought it would be. There's really no difference between 5,000 and 10,000, 12,000. It just feels the same. A little bit of vibration through the frame. Nice and smooth brakes. Let's find neutral again. That clutch is getting a little bit heavy. It's got quite a long throw. I'm sure you could adjust it a little bit here and there. I had them tighten it up. It had a ton of slack in it. But my hand is getting a little tired already. You got a big shift light there. Obviously, I'm not planning on making that come on. It does feel really good to just stretch my legs. Throttle feels good. This, I believe, is just a regular old cable throttle, so nothing special there. Almost stalled it out, but not quite. Let's see how the upper gears do. See how much torque it's got top gear. There's no gear counter. This is a 5-speed, I believe I counted. I do have to tilt my head down to see any of the gauges. The helmet is, I'm wearing a full face helmet and it is blocking the gauges. It's pretty much like a cruiser with gauges on the tank. For me, being this tall in the torso, I'm so far forward on it that I do have to tilt my head down. So I don't like that, just for safety's sake. But that's more of fitting you to the right bike. Butter smooth in top gear. There's no engine lugging. I'm down at just over 3,000 RPM here. Nice smooth torque. I expected it to be kind of anemic because it is meant to be revved out with a lot of peak power way up top. I mean, 16,000 RPM. That's a very high for most bikes rev limit. But it is absolutely, completely street usable here. Just stick it in top gear. I'm only at 45 miles an hour. So that's good. I was afraid that you would have to be shifting through the gears a lot more than necessary, but that is not the case. Very impressive. Riding position, that is simply going to be, does it fit your body or not? Now I know that I fit the BMW sport bikes a heck of a lot better. Haven't been on the R1, so I don't know if that frame is much bigger. If it's just this with a bigger engine, couldn't tell you. They stopped offering those at demo rides, unfortunately. They were telling me about the last time they had them out, which was Daytona last year, and a guy on an R1 was looking down, distracted by all the different things he could adjust. The group stopped, he didn't, and he basically became a bowling ball. He took out both the other R1s in the group that were ahead of him and an R6. And I mean, took out as in they could not use them anymore. They were out of the demo. So that's also why they took out the VMAX. I was lucky to get that right in. I was one of the last ones to be able to experience it on a demo. So giving it full throttle here, just easy roll on. It just goes. There's no lurking, jerking. That's down at 4,000 RPM. Just starts climbing. Really nice torque curve. Obviously, you need to shift down for some better power. Yep, and it's got a lot better power once you shift down. I think I'm in second. Again, with no gear selector. Can't be 100% sure, and I'm not used to the bike yet to just instantly know from the sound. It feels like second. It's definitely not first because my wheel is still on the ground. And I'm not even going to attempt a wheelie because yesterday somebody was ejected from this ride for doing a wheelie on the R6. And actually I was in third. So that's quite impressive. It really did feel like second. Now I'm down in first, and I know that because I can't shift down anymore. Give it a nice, relatively full throttle run here. Oh yeah, that gets above 10,000 and it just starts to sing and climb. Really nice torque. Oh man, that is beautiful. That is an intense rush of speed and an awesome sound. You get a combination of the exhaust and the intake. It's a howl and a scream. That is the beauty of a high output 600cc engine. It really is that sweet spot of being able to rev extremely high and have a lot of power in a very small package. Now I do have a lot of vibration coming through the foot pegs right now. That would set my foot numb fairly quickly. It's not something you want to be doing for too long. So let's shift down here to top gear. Man, I gotta see when I get back if it's a 5 or a 6 speed. I thought I counted 5, but then it kind of felt like I counted 6 right there. So the same smooth torque roll on here at 6,000 as 4,000. Hasn't woken up yet. Went down 2. This should be 4th if I was in 6. I don't know. I've got to look. I sometimes get questions on why don't I research the bike. This is not a spec review. This is a real life, this is what it feels like to ride it review. So I'm not concerned about the exact number of cc's the engine has and where it doesn't matter. You can look that up. That's all objective data that you can just Google. I'm letting you know, hey, if you physically ride this bike, this is what you can expect. That's the kind of reviews I like, and that's what I do. We're gonna flip around here. Another beautiful day on the bay. Let's see, this is top, down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. Okay, so it's a 5-speed. That's what I thought. Just making sure. Yeah, but this is a torque and wheelie monster above 10,000. That is really in the sweet spot, let me tell you what. Oh, it feels so good to put my legs down. Oh my God, you don't know how cramped it is until you do. Obviously, handling on this is like a dream. Oh yeah, it just simply keeps getting faster and faster, like any good small engine will do. Very reminiscent of the BMW 1000 series, where literally until you shift, it is giving you more and more power. That's exactly what this is doing. Is that RPM climbs, you start to feel it at 8. At 10, it is okay. You might have to be backing off the throttle. And above that, you better be holding on. Definitely nothing below that at that level of power, but there's still more than enough there for a lot of fun street riding. The important part is you don't have to keep it up in the rev range. That's the important thing, because if you have to do that, that gets annoying. This does not have a flat spot. It really doesn't. Even taking off in first gear, there's no problem. I've ridden some bikes where there just isn't any power until 2,000 or 3,000 RPM, and you have to rev it up just to get it going from a stop. This is not that. Not that I expected it, but you never know, especially with an engine tuned for high-end power. Love it. The sound is fantastic. This is a completely stock exhaust too. I can't imagine why anyone would want to change this unless they're just looking for more volume. Let's go up in top gear. I want to see how loud it is. It's still got the same volume, but the tone has changed. So now I hear the intake a lot. When I give it wide open in top gear, it's got that wah, wah. But dropping down into the higher RPM range, I can hear the exhaust. The wah. Oh, that's a nice sound. That is a really nice sound. Very smooth ride. Soaking up the bumps. Feels like it weighs nothing. Very flickable, obviously, going around the few corners we hit today. But going in a straight line, just feels like it goes wherever you want to point it. And like I said, it's a great position. I'm completely holding myself up by my legs. There's no need at all to put any weight on your hands. A lot of people will complain about sport bikes and say, oh, it hurts my wrist. You're riding it wrong. Or it's simply the wrong size bike for you. If you can't fit the bike enough to where your body is holding you up, then it's either not the right bike or you're simply not using proper riding technique. You should never be holding yourself up on a bike by your arms. All right, so that was surprisingly good, I have to say. Sport bike is not for me, just from this cramped riding style. However, if I was anywhere around a track, oh my God, I would be broke, because I would be having so much fun every chance I could get on a cool sport bike. But a track is what this thing is. I'm probably down in second because that wasn't going. Yep, I was. I would be going around as much as I can in a fun sport bike, because once you're moving, man, oh, this power, it is addicting. It is really addicting. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. We'll see you next time.